Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Talkin Movies. I am your host, the real Geno Reynolds, and today we're going to be talking about a movie based on a true story, Operation Finale, starring Oscar Isaac and Ben Kingsley. Now I do have to warn you that there might be some minor spoilers in this review. After Adolf Eichmann, one of the masterminds behind the final solution, is discovered in Buenos Aires in 1960, a group of Jewish intelligence agents attempt to capture him so he can stand trial for his actions during World War II. Now, I was really wanting to see this movie because I am really interested in all things surrounding World War II, especially movies that do. I'm also a pretty big fan of both Oscar Isaac and Ben Kingsley, so there was that too. So, my hopes were a little high on this one, and did it deliver? Well, somewhat. Where this movie is at its best is after the team kidnaps Eichmann. The movie almost becomes a game of wits between Eichmann and the team, especially Peter Malkin, played by Oscar Isaac. They have to get Eichmann to sign a document that basically puts the blame for the Holocaust on his shoulders. In exchange for the signature, he gets a fair trial in Israel. Of course, he doesn't want to sign the papers, but begins to soften up about it when Malkin tries a less forceful approach to the matter at hand. As they continue to discuss things, Eichmann and Malkin seem to be coming to an understanding of each other. Eichmann explains that he tried to save Jews when he could, and he was only following orders. He gets Malkin to talk about his family and who he lost during the Holocaust. The more Malkin talks and thinks that he's softening up Eichmann, you begin to realize that Eichmann is manipulating him. The scenes between Isaac and Kingsley go from calm and quiet all the way to loud and violent. The two actors' performances, especially together, are the best part of the movie. I thought the rest of the performances of the good guy side were pretty good as well, but then there was the other side. One way that this movie didn't work was how the Nazis acted in it. The best way that I can put it is that they almost seemed cartoonish. I'm not kidding. Most of the time when they were on screen, especially during this big meeting near the end of the movie, I felt like I was watching some propaganda cartoon or something. The way they were doing the salute and everything else, and the rhetoric, it was almost laughable. Another thing that didn't work for me was pretty much any time humor was used. I sort of felt like the subject matter of this movie, being that it was the Holocaust, called for a more serious tone all throughout. But there were times that jokes were kind of crammed into conversations and scenes. There was only a couple of times that it worked okay, but honestly, the rest could have and probably should have been cut. Lastly, you could also tell that this movie was trying to be a little bit too much like Argo, with how the escape scenes went, but Argo did it way better. Oh, and make sure to check out History vs. Hollywood's look at the real versus real, so to speak, when it comes to Operation Finale. I will put a link to that article in the description below. There's not much more I can say about this movie. Half of the movie is really good. The other half, isn't. While I enjoyed the performances from most of the actors and various parts of the plot, I would still only recommend this one as a rental at best. For me, honestly, it was a bit of a letdown. That's going to be all for this edition of Talkin Movies. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video, and if you have anything to say about this movie, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I'm your host, the Real Geno Reynolds. See you later.